Hello, everybody, and welcome to Newfound Reads. My name's Julia Mayo, and I work with the Newfoundland and Labrador Public Libraries. Newfound Reads is a video series that we are doing with our YouTube channel where I get the chance to talk to Newfoundland authors or authors who write about Newfoundland things. So today I'm really excited to be talking with Olivia Robinson. Good morning, Olivia. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm very well.
You look so pretty in your yellow room.
Oh, thank you.
It's a pretty room.
Yeah, I
So
didn't choose the color, but
it is a lovely color.
it's very cheerful. Yes, I like it.
It's happy. I like happy colors. So would you like to talk to us a little bit about your book?
Yes. So
Yay.
my book is The Blue Moth Motel. I have it here because I love showing off this lovely cover designed by Rhonda Malloy at Breakwater, and it's so
So
gorgeous.
was your cat a model for the cat in the book?
Yes, he was.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so Puss gets to live on in the Blue Moth Motel forever.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
But does he know that he was the model?
I think so. I think so, but it hasn't gone to his head yet, so that's
Oh.
good. Yeah, he's very reserved.
So one of the reviews of your book mentioned fairy tales. And so what is your view on the role of fairy tales in real life? Is one ever really too old for fairy tales, do you think?
No, I don't think anyone is too old to read anything. I don't think there should be any rules with your reading. I think you should read whatever you feel most drawn to. I know, like during the pandemic, I kind of rediscovered my love for some novels that I read when I was younger, like in middle school, kind of those middle grade novels. And I also discovered a new kind of middle grade series called Pages and Co. by Anna James, which I absolutely fell in love with and read all of them. So I don't think, yeah, anybody is too old for anything. And I actually recently read a wonderful collection of fairy tales called The Sister Who Ate Her Brothers by Jen Campbell. And
It's one of
I,
my favorites, and she is one
oh,
of our favorite authors. I just love her, and she's a
yeah,
beautifully lovely individual. And
so
yeah, I
great.
haven't read that one yet, but my friend just got it. It came into the library the other day, and she came by the desk and she showed it to me. She goes, "Look what I got!"
Yeah, it's awesome. So those fairy tales are definitely more gruesome than your typical happily ever after fairy tale. So, because she kind of takes inspiration from fairy tales around the world, and I really like this collection because a lot of the fairy tales are queer, and the women are described by stereotypes, and people with disabilities are celebrated. And there's a
Yes.
really great afterword where she mentions how in fairy tales and some fairy tale retellings, evil characters are sometimes presented with disfigurements to give the reader that a hint that the character is supposed to be frightening. And
They look bad on the outside, so they're bad on the inside. Yeah.
yeah, and then Jen kind of explains in her afterward how that is very outdated and harmful for readers to see that. So I think it's important to read fairy tales and think critically about their origins and also try to explain that to children. And Jen also has an amazing YouTube channel where she has a whole series about like explaining the history of different fairy tales, which is fascinating. So I definitely recommend watching some of those if
I like a good fairy tale retelling that like turns it upside down or twists it or just makes it kind of a fresh take on something that you're already, semi familiar with.
yeah,
I like that because I guess essentially I'm a lazy reader. So, it's something I'm already familiar with. I don't have to learn anything new.
yeah. Yes.
Your writing has been described as immersive and with very vivid imagery. How do you balance imagery with the rest of the story? Because sometimes, how do you know that you've described something enough without describing it too much?
Right. Yeah, it is a difficult balance for sure. I think imagery is kind of the framework on which all my writing is built because I enjoy novels where I feel immersed in the world. And I think imagery is really the key to that. And so I wanted to write something that makes readers feel like they can see and smell and hear the world that the characters are in. And I also really like reading novels that are more character driven rather than plot driven, and where not much really happens, which is kind of a good description of the Blue Moth Motel.
Not
Um,
much really happens. That
yeah,
sounds
just
terrible.
no, but like the stakes aren't really high. It's kind of just a subtle, yeah, there's subtle stakes, I guess. And it's not very plot heavy, but I think imagery can add to the plot in a way because it makes the events feel more real.
So I know that you said that it's not much happens, but have you ever written dialogue that you wished you had the opportunity to use in real conversation? I was talking to someone else about this the other day. You know how when you're in the heat of the moment, or like you're having a conversation with somebody and they like totally burn you and you had this great comeback, but it only came to your brain 24 hours later when you were thinking about it. Have you ever used your characters to like to like say these things back for
No,
yourself?
that's a great idea. I think I might do that in the future, maybe, because I often don't think about what I would say or would have said until much later. Because I really struggle with writing dialogue. I think it's definitely the weakest link in my writing. Because I want it to sound real rather than scripted. So I do try to keep it brief. And I also, there aren't speech tags, like no quotation marks in the Blue Moth Motel,
Right.
which people are kind of divided over quotation marks or no quotation marks. But I can't remember if it was Sharon Bala or Lisa Moore, or maybe both of them, who said that everything like contained within the quotes is kind of exactly how it was said, whereas if there aren't quotation marks, then it kind of leaves it a bit open to interpretation because I know myself, I barely remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, so I won't remember something that I said perfectly from when I was younger. So kind of not using the quotation marks has kind of helped me free up my dialogue
Exactly.
a
Yeah, it
bit.
kind of like gives you a little bit more permission to do
Yeah, yeah, because
a little bit more creativity with it.
it doesn't lock it down really. So I, yeah, kind of remembered that advice. And I don't think there's any lines in particular in the Blue Moth Motel that I wish I could use, but I think I wish I could ask Nora, who's one of the characters, the main characters, for some like just general life advice, have a conversation with her because she's the type of person who doesn't speak often, but when she does, everyone listens because they know
It's
that
meaningful.
that what she's going to say is meaningful. So, and Nora often gives good advice to her younger sister Ingrid, who are the two main characters in the Blue Moth Motel. So I think, yeah, I would like to talk to Nora about some things.
Well, congratulations on The Blue Moth Motel. I know that it's a popular book at the library.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yes, it's again it has a lovely cover. I am a sucker for a really nice cover on a book. I really am.
Me too.
Yeah, I just it makes it feel, I don't know, like you're holding a piece of art in your hands when it's a
Yes.
beautiful, because it's like beautiful on the inside, beautiful on the outside. It's lovely. But thank you for spending some time with me today, and thank you for appearing on our Newfound Reads YouTube series.
Thank you so much.